Okay. So last time we have seen the screens, right? That how it looks like. Today
Yeah,
also, let me see what it covers under low code, no code. Have you gone through this mission?
I have completed twice. I couldn't able to understand much, so that's the reason I have kept on hold. I need to have a quick intro with you, and I can complete all those stuffs.
Um, Let me see if the server is started. Did you log in? Are you able to log in the personal edition?
Yeah, I can able to log in, but it's very too slow to me.
Yeah, it's sometimes. If you try on weekends, it's more slow. But see, the slowness is here also. Actually, a lot of people practice, right? So I think it does not. I'm not sure if it stores in our local. It should be, but it's a little bit slower. That's right. So once what we will do today is like we will create an application. Let's test application. Okay. So
Okay.
the application's requirement is like collect the data from the user. Okay. Go, make it available. It's a registration process. For example, let's
Okay.
say it's a registration process. Simple. Collect the data from the UI from user. User will raise the request and will submit it. Once submission, it will go for a approval to some department. Okay. And then that once approval is done, we will just create or we will just register the user. Okay.
Okay.
This application we will make just a simple application. Later on, you can do your own, I mean, anything, any complex application or little bit. If you have any idea about end-to-end credit card applications or debit card applications, you can start here by your own. If you will get stuck, I will help you out.
Sure.
Okay. So so right now, this is first login. Assume this is the first login, right? So that's why we
Okay.
as administrator at pega.com and install. So what we have to do, we have to go here um, in application Pega platform and create a new application.
Okay.
So when we go and create a new application, it asks something. So everything related earlier, what in version 5 and up to 6, I think. So what we were doing is like we were not having facility to this type of wizards. Pega call it as a wizard, okay, application wizard, integration wizard. So we were not
Okay.
having that. So we everything we were creating it. So we were creating first rule sets, and then we were creating applications. Then we were attaching rule sets to application manually, and then that
Okay.
application to access to. But nowadays it's pretty much easier. So if you'll click on this new application, it will open a wizard. It's very slow, slower than what I'm expecting. Yes. So it will ask you build from scratch. So this is since there is no application in the server right now, it is
Okay.
showing scratch, only one option. Otherwise, you will have like built on some other application or something like that. So we are going to select this, continue. It will ask you some questions. Okay. So earlier, it's like only UI kit was there. Now they have Cosmos UI and Cosmos React is also there. So we will go with the Cosmos. This is a new thing introduced in Pega, where they have created some good user-friendly, or I can say good-looking portals, which you can reuse it, or otherwise you have
Okay.
some facilities to create a good UI. Okay, any doubt?
Oh,
No, right? So we are selecting the theme, like how the application will look like, how the UI of the application will look like, something like that. Okay.
okay.
Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it will ask what is the name of your application. So let's say registration. Okay, or we can say that enrollment. A good name, right?
Okay.
Just 2 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah. So I okay. So go to advanced configuration here, and it will ask you about the organization, division, unit. I told you right yesterday that we have to application should belongs to some organization, right? So let's for timing, I will say my org. Okay, division should be like my div. You can give any good name, and it should be my unit. It's just test. And right now, if you want to generate division layer, you can say division layer or unit layer. So what is this all is like, it will fall under the class structure. Okay. So the class, it generates layers of classes. So do you know what is class? No, right?
Class. I need to remember that.
Okay. Um, so class is a Java concept, exactly. But okay, when I will come to class structure, I will tell you. For time being now, ignore it. Okay, just ignore it.
Class, I couldn't remember. It's creating an object or something.
Yeah, it's a kind of a blueprint of any instance. I will let you know that what is class and all. We will come
Okay.
to a different topic called class structure. So we will discuss more there. For time being now, just ignore it. Whatever we have discussed before, we will focus on more on that, and otherwise we will ignore it. So what it will do is like it will generate the layer class for this, for example. So it takes organization name, and then it takes application name, and then work is the default, which says that where we are going to work on it. So I'm just showing you. Don't get confused. Just save it. Okay. And then create the application. So PRPC will create all the rule sets required, default rule sets, and PRPC all the classes required. PRPC is going to create few user IDs also, which it will display. It will be displayed after it gets completed. Okay. So let's say I will create like edit. Enter a valid email address. Okay. So it added this password, right? Note it down and just done. We will see what we can do with this. Okay, and then go to where is user? This site. So this is for your user access. go to and log out this. Now we have our own ID, right? So we will log into our application. So it's a first login, so it will ask for a change password. No. And I will provide the current password and then keep it simple. Pega was defaulting it earlier to rules. I will keep it the same thing. You can put any password. So earlier these things were not there. They have introduced recently password, all those facilities for new users. So you can see here, right? So if there is a app studio, let it open completely. In low code, no code module, we are going to study about the app studio only. So we will not focus more. We will not focus on the dev studio or in the admin studio. We'll keep it for the future modules. Okay.
Okay.
So it is showing my ID of letter ID. And I will show you one more thing, which we will discuss. What is this? It's very slow.
It's very slow. I've been trying from 12 o'clock.
But I was trying to say is like, we discussed yesterday, right? So whenever operators log in, PRPC checks its access group and which application it is pointing to. On that application, what is the rule set stack and all. So what are the rule sets available, and it creates the rule set profile. Okay.
Okay.
See, enrollment is there, application rule set. There is enrollment integration. PRPC has created one. My organization. I will come to this part profile again when I will go for a rule resolution and all those things. How Pega picks rules. For example, if I have a UI name as A1 in this enrollment, and I have the same name, same UI in this also. So how PRPC will pick runtime, which one it will pick, it will come under the rule resolution topic. So I will come to this profile again.
Okay.
So if you see, Pega has created one application level rule set, one application level integration rule set. If anything is integration, like if we are using Connect SOAP, or if we are exposing anything API to external systems, we can put it under this. And then it has created the same thing on the organization level.
Okay.
Organization level and organization end. Okay, so these two are at organization level, these two are at application level. So we are not limited to this four. We can create our own and add it to application at any time.
Okay.
I will do that right now. Okay, so this is how Pega picks it. So this is hierarchy you see, right? So any rule which has the same name, same purpose. So if it is there here, it will pick it first. First, it will go to your private rule set. So it creates a private rule set with your name also. So I will tell you what is the importance of this, but this is the rule sets you will have. So this 5 has created wizard. Remaining all are default and Pega PRPC rule sets. These are logged. We cannot use it. Okay. Any doubt?
No. Can you hear me? Hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You have any question?
No, I'm good.
We'll go to App Studio now. So App Studio is for, we call it as an author at Pega PRPC, but this is generally for business analyst or who has a very little knowledge. Uh, yeah. So App Studio is for the business purpose. So business person or anyone who has very little knowledge on the Pega side. So Pega PRPC has exposed few things which from App Studio can also, the person who has very little knowledge, they can also do that. So now, so earlier it was like a Pega Express where we were creating the applications and all those things. So now it is changed. They have created altogether a different portal with some more facilities here, and it's not more, almost I think we have multiple things here. We can do that. So we can create a case type. Case type is a rule which says which creates or which holds records for your cases. So for example, it's a registration case, right? So right now we don't have any task or any case assigned to our application. So what we will do is like we will add a case type here and we will create the registration case. Okay. When I will create it, don't get confused. When I will create it, I will go about the details of the case. When we already discussed what is case. It's an end-to-end transaction.
End-to-end transaction.
Yeah. So it has various stages, right? So likewise, for example, for registration, if I will talk about, it has two stages. First stage is the user input. Second stage is the approval. So approval can lead to denial or approved. So this way we have to categorize our task into stages. The entire transaction, end-to-end transaction, will be categorized in stages. So for example, if I will say fulfillment, let's say bookstore application. Okay. So if a customer is requesting like, I need this comic book. So what it will do, it will collect the record from the customer. Okay. You entered that like, I need this comic book, and it will be submitted. It will go for an inventory check. So inventory check department will see whether the requested book is available in our inventory or not. They will approve it. Okay, this is confirmed. Then it will go for shipment. Then shipment, what it will do, packaging. You can say packaging. So it will go to packaging department. Packaging will package it, and then it will go for shipment department. Shipment will ship it with a tracking number, and once it is delivered, it will be completed. So these many stages are there. I'm just trying to explain you what is the stage and what is case. So the difference between case and stage. Case is end-to-end, and stages are in between the case end-to-end transaction. How many stages we have? So first was collecting information from customer, then inventory check, then packaging, then shipment, and then delivered and completed. Okay. We will discuss again this one. We are just going high level what this portal is look like. Data. So data is something like we create data tables here. So data is like, you need some data to process it. For example, customer for registration application,
We need their name, email,
their first name, last name, and all those things, all details, right? So we should tables to store it, right? So once this is approved, we can create all those tables here, actually data sources. Even if you want to bring data from some external system, you can also configure that here.
Okay.
You basically, we just create we call it in Pega as a data table. So for creating the data tables, if we need any, we go to data. I'm sorry. Okay. And any doubts, case types and data?
Oh, it's good.
Okay. Then channels. So channels means when we go and I mean, whenever we design any application from scratch, right? So we need to know that what are the channels they are going. I mean, what are the channels through which this application will be used? For example, web. For example, a customer care. I will call to IVR and IVR will connect it to me. Then mobile application. Then you can see that from email. Okay. So now
Yeah.
it is also added. I don't know. So it's logged right now. I need to check how they integrate it. So web massive is like something we create the web URLs, and if there is any already custom web applications are there and they want to put a link in their web page for this Pega application, we will create a web mashup and we will provide a link to them so that on click of that link from that portal, automatically this Pega application will be invoked. Of course, we will measure the security and all those things, but that is something advanced topic. I will not make you confused. But the channels, just wanted to let you know that what we call it as a channel. Okay, so channel is something like from where we are going to use this application. That is channel.
Okay.
So whatever is there, we will configure here. We can configure here. For example,
Confusing.
for example, there are two types of roles, access roles. One is manager, one is user. So you see there is no manager portal here right now. And now that manager will access this application through a portal. They will log into PRPC, but they don't need a developer portal. They need a manager portal because I don't want them to modify anything. Right? What I will do is like I will create a portal with the name manager or naming conventions are there. I will check it out. I'm unable to recall it right now, but you can name it anything. Recommended conventions are there. You can use it. So it will create a portal with manager, and I can assign this portal to their access group.
Okay.
So the moment a manager will log in, they will not get this screen. They will directly get the portal what I'm designing for them.
Okay, understood.
These are called as channels.
Okay.
Okay. Now, third thing is users. Okay. So users means who are going to use this application. For example, you are going to use as a administrator. I'm going to use as a normal user. Someone is there to use as a manager. There will be a group of manager. There can be a group of normal users. There can be a group of administrators, anything. So if you want to create any user, so I think in user management, they will have it. Yeah, so you can they call it as a persona as well, also persona as actually. So they have created one. You can add more. You can add manager. And we will do that later on, but just highlight.
If I need to add, I need to put their name or what I need to put there.
It depends on requirements again. So let's say we are creating one operator for multiple managers. I have a group of manager, and I want one single operator ID for them. So we can create one. If we want based on their names, we can create that also. I can create here like DD or something like that. You can do anything. So it depends on requirement for how you want to do that. Generally, to your level,
How they will access my portal? If I add their name, I need to give my operator ID or how?
no. Yes. So adding a name means you are not just adding name. You are creating an operator for that person. So let's say if I will say, okay, I will create here. Okay. Ganesh, let's say @gmail.com description. Repeat these steps when you have free time. Okay.
Okay.
So what it does is it creates the user. When you will click on it, it will open the operator record.
Okay.
Here it is not showing. I think it should add to operator. We need to go to Dev Studio because that control they don't want to give to App Studio. But let me see if that is added or not. We can always go to records organization operator ID. Ram Pandey, they have created it. Illegal is they have not created it. No. Okay. What is the use of this then? Oh, okay. Sorry, I said wrong thing. They have created this person as is a what type of group actually? Group of users or type of user you can say that. 1 second.
Okay.
So person as is like they are saying user site and it will be user portal. Let me add it as a manager. But they're not asking anything, right? Where could I give the portal? Okay. Let me see what is this user they actually wanted to say, whether it should be related to the user or person or who is taking participation in the case, for example, who has created it and reported it, or the person who is going to work on it, like users, managers, okay, some persons who is going to approve is that type of things will be related to this, but this is something different they have created it. I need to check why my manager is not having channel.
Okay.
Or maybe we have not created channel.
He didn't add the channel, right?
Let's say manager portal. I will add a channel. Description. Maybe this is interlinked or something.
Yeah, once it added, then we can see in this user, I think. So.
Does it asking? Configuration, what? Manager, pay the application, the person. Okay, they have added it. I can add the manager here and it will be there. Okay, got it. So see, you are getting now. You will learn it soon, man. I have enough confidence. So this, so their user means then the group of people, then user, manager, and how many users will be there. We will see how to add this later on.
Okay.
Okay. This is related to users here. I think under organization, they have nothing, just they display what are the organization division unit is there. How many organizations are there? So we created this one. This is ours. And what is this action says? Add division. Okay, you can add it directly. I mean, under your organization, if you want to add one more division, you can do that. Something like that.
Okay, understood.
Okay. So purpose of this portal is like you can create the blueprint. You cannot exactly, I mean, you can run it into in, but it would not be, if you need some complicated UI logics or any complicated logics, which is driven from some integrated data and everything, that should be done in Dev Studio only. And that is not something which is meant to be done by business analyst, right? So which is perfectly makes sense, like why to provide these facilities here, right? So that's why they have created App Studio and separately with different authorizations. Okay.
Okay.
Here it's something like I created a blueprint. Like I want this group of people. I want this organization. This will be the division. This will be the case type. This will be the data table look like. This will be the channels. Okay. Later on, if any complex requirements are there, that should be done by the developers, and that should be communicated to the developers. Like under this part, we need this facility, and then they will do it in the dev studio. Okay. Settings we will go later on. Okay. Mobile certificates, and I'm not sure what is this. They have recently added it. Email accounts will be something like you have to configure the email accounts from where by default your application will send the emails. So not mandatory to configure. Different applications uses different techniques to send the emails. Even if it is used by Pega PRPC, then we configure the email accounts where we call it, let's say my organization is my org, right? So it will be no reply at my org or something like that. I can configure one email account here from where it will be the response will go from Pega side. So sometimes you might see in Virtusa also, right? So everywhere. So if you see there is a email, automated email, right? That triggers no reply or something like that. So that you can configure here email accounts. It's not only limited to no reply. You can configure any email accounts which you want to use for the purpose of sending emails or receiving emails from the application. Branding and things will be something like it will be how your application will look like. It will give you some pre-built logo and application name. So it will be like look and feel of the application. So whether you want logo and application name, for example, Pega has only logo here, right? No application. The application name is here, enrollment. So it will be like or logo only or application name only or none. So you can decide how you want to brand your application. Generally, it would be on the top. Themes are nothing but the styles, how you want to use. Okay. Understood. This is again, so if you'll see, this is something like we discussed with BA, right? What color you want, how the branding will look like. So now the problem is solved. Just sit with BA and say, see this, you look, it look good or not. Immediately you can change it and make finalize for the dev team that this is what we discussed and this is the theme of that. Understood. Okay. Now we will go to we'll go back to course. So I think this is theoretical low code defined. What is low code? They are calling it about. Talking it about what the low code is there, and defining a custom micro journey. So as I discussed, what do you call by micro journey? Micro journey is nothing but you have a big application, right? So you cannot go at one go. So what we do is like we discuss with the stakeholders or the business owners or the product owners that what is the minimum lovable product they want under this 2 months or whatever the timeline is there. Under this timeline, what is the minimum lovable product they want us to deliver. So that is something like we are breaking the big chunk into a smaller pieces. Okay, so that smaller pieces is nothing but micro journeys. So we are accomplishing micro journeys and one by one, and then we are moving ahead further closer to the entire piece of the product what they want. So whenever it comes for you, let's say when you are if you are getting a chance to sit on with the Scratch applications, business discussions, then this should be the point. Like what we want actually. We cannot afford everything. You are not going to do everything, right? So what minimum things like for you in UI, if you think first name and last name suffice for the entire process, we will think of like whether they need I need any identification number or anything or extra authentication or uploading a document. We can go on future releases. So this type of decisions should be taken at the very start level of the project, and Pega promotes it like if you are going with microjourney, that will be good. If I think you have gone through this 2 chapters at least, modules, right? So do you have anything which you didn't understand?
Honestly, I didn't go through anything. I have gone through low code define. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Then I will say that go with this. I will explain you here, but go with the exact articles also. So you will understand. Now you know what is microjourney, what is low code. Low code means you are not going to write any code. You are going to configure everything. So far now we have not written any Java code, right? Or any other code. But we have created an application. So that is low code. Okay. So they are saying designing a case life cycle, right? So before doing that, what I will say is like in Notepad, what should be the case name? It should be the proper noun. Okay, let me add a rule case here. Case name should be process registration. My spellings are always wrong.
We have Google.
So it is asking, what is that question? Standard questionnaire.
Standard in the sense, first name, last name. Questionnaire in the sense, it will some different, I think so.
What is that standard?
Standard will be a first name, last name. Questionnaire will be different thing, right?
Okay. Maybe I need to check this.
It's all advanced now. Huh?
Yeah. No, this Cosmos is introduced, right? So I'm thinking this should not be related to the Cosmos standard or questionnaire. I need to check that. What is this? 8.6 is very advanced.
Okay.
And we are working on 7.1.9. I mean, it's a generation gap. It's okay. So see, once you created your case type is a rule. Okay, where we provide the information, or where we provide the information how the case will look like and how the flow will go from one stage to other stage.
Okay.
Just 1 second.
Sure.
Yeah, so you see, it is saying as stages who are all person is going to use these channels, person as data interfaces. We will not make it complex to add person as or data here, but we will go through the stages here for time being now. So our first stage was to collect the information, right? Okay. Then you can add an approval. Okay. Then further is resolve.
Okay.
You can say that we'll see that part also. Send communication. You can say email. And we can resolve here also. We can resolve. We can add in last stage like result. Okay. So these are the stage names we provided. For example, if I will go to my inventory, let's say if it is in the bookstore one, Then here we will have like collect the or enter details, book informations and all those things, quantity. We will define those things. So this will be user info, collect info. Then it will go for inventory. Then it will go for a shipment. What are the process we are going to
Go
do?
for completion.
Yeah. So these are just stages we are defining.
Okay.
We are not defining the flow. We are defining the stages right now. Okay. So, and we parallelly, we can say that if it is in a starting stage, we can set a status, case status as open. Okay. Here it will be pending approval. Okay. Here it will come when it will be approved, right? So
Yeah.
it is like automatically. It is
the next stage.
okay. And the last one will be resolve the case with the status resolve completed. It is fine. You can do that. When you go for approval, it is two paths. There is two possibilities. It can either approve or it can either reject, right?
Deny. Yeah.
If you once we will add here the process of approval, it will add an alternate stage automatically.
Okay. But we need to add here both, right? Approved and denied. Only one thing.
Name should be like what you are going to do that stage, but approve or denied we will add it here.
Okay.
So under stages we have processes. This process is nothing but it is called as a flow.
Okay.
Under that flow, what are the steps we want to follow? We can define that. For example, this will be collect or process name I'm defining here. Okay. And in this, we will go one by one.
Voice is slow.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
So we will go one by one stages. So for now, stage you created the stage, you provided the different status, right?
Okay, but it's not showing down. Why?
What down? This one?
Collect info. No. Collect info in the right corner. It's showing open. It's not showing down. Why?
Where is down? I didn't get your question.
No. You have mentioned the collect info is open, right?
This is the status. So once the work object will be created under this case, it will go to the collect info stage. Once it will be in the collect info stage, the status of the work object will be open.
Okay.
I can say case status.
Where I should see the open? Where I can see that? I need to click collect info and see in the right corner or
yes,
how?
Right corner. So while designing, you can see here only. So if you'll go here, it will open up automatically. Okay. So I will tell you these details in what is automatically move to next stages, like it will not wait for any user action to move it. It will when the moment your task will be completed in this stage, it will automatically move to approval. Wait for user action is something like the task is completed, it will wait for user to move it to next stage. This you will understand on runtime. Okay. And resolve the case means here we used it, just resolve it. No need to move again forward from this stage. So let's save it first. I'm saving and running it. We are going to create our first case. I don't know whether it will create or not.
I will try to create one case tomorrow.
Okay, so see, right now it is in collect info stage. It is saying all the stages are showing your case is created as P1, process registration, again with priority 10. And right now we are at collect info stage. Status is pending approval.
Pending approval.
Oh, collect info is just passed. It is in approval stage. So that's why it is pending approval. Okay. And if you will advance the case, it will go to email. Just we are checking whether we created the right thing or not. So it is approved. The status is changing to approved. Now,
Okay.
resolved. So resolve completed. Your case is resolved. Okay. So I will say, let's keep this much only for today.
Okay.
Practice it. Try to do some
Okay.
R&D. Okay. And read those modules.
Okay.
Because your
What are the
exam,
modules I need to?
so 1, 2, we discussed designing case life cycle. We discussed, you can practice this one, this challenge.
Okay.
Okay. And case status also we discussed. So you can go to user guidance and practice this challenge.
Okay.
And completing work on time, we will work on next class.
Okay. I
This
will
is
try to do the first 5. I will try to do first 5. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
No code till setting case study.
Sure. And whatever the questions and quiz are there, right? So do it honestly. They might get repeats in your exam. And that, yeah, so that questions will also make you sure like you are getting all those points or not, right? So just complete it.
Sure, sir. I will. If I'm getting wrong, I will try to redo it.
I also do that.
And but I will note down the questions which I am making wrong, and I will try to learn it out.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yes, I also do that when I start new missions, and sometimes we read very carefully, so we understand it. Sometimes our mind gets diverted, right? So we have meeting, we have something in the home, so we don't read it properly, right? So when we go to the exam or that quiz, we forgot those points, so we make mistakes. And then I also do that. I also repeat it, and then I also but try to pass it. Unless you are not passing all the answers, don't pass the modules.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I need to jump to a call, so I will be
Sure.
yeah? Okay then.
You can just stop off. Thank you.
Thank you.